Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's Labor Day weekend and it's the start of the NFL season. And here we go. We didn't get a chance to do it last year. We started late. We were late to the party. We started with the Super Bowl, but these guys are ready, brought in some experts all over the place. I'm out of my elements with this, so I get to take it easy for a little bit, put it on cruise control, let these guys have the floor
Beep,
for a
beep.
little bit. Yep. Just before we start, I just wanted to mention a couple of things. Remember when we were growing up, this was a big weekend for the Jerry Lewis telethon. I don't know if we're showing our age on that. That
Wow.
it used to.
We're old masters on that one.
I know, but
Yeah,
it was a thing growing up. People that don't really
right.
understand it was huge when you
it's
know
huge.
everybody watched it. I mean, it was local with your local TV stations, and
Yeah, it was.
had some pretty big acts on that. And you know, Jerry went on like a 3-day bender and didn't get any sleep, and he looked like shit by the end. He looked like he was sweating bullets and all that other fun stuff that you pick up as an adult that you don't when you're a kid. So, yeah, I just wanted to mention that. I saw a post about it, and I said, hey, I want to mention that for all the people that are in our age demographic that probably forgot about that. Couple of quick things before we get rolling with our usual stuff. Jimmy Buffett passed away. Not a big Jimmy Buffett guy, but worth mentioning. You know that he did have a big audience come summertime. Those you know, beer drinker and Hellraiser crowd. So wanted to mention that, and also. Oh, go ahead, Brad.
It's more, I guess, bigger news down here because he actually attended the University of Southern Miss. So there's a lot of this coastal Mississippi vibe. A lot of folks remembering him. People I don't even know were fans were, you know, coming out the woodwork. But yeah, I guess Southern Mississippi took that one pretty hard.
Yeah, he used to come, you know, do the summer tour up this way. There's a outdoor concert venue up here that you know, he
Great Woods, baby.
Yep. Tweeter Center, Xfinity Center, yep, whatever you want to call it.
Best parking lot show you'll ever see, man. It was a lot of fun, man. 140 of them in 4 years, man. 4 concerts. Oh man, good times. Good times.
Quick, only probably wrestling thing we'll talk about real quick this week: the CM Punk drama. It thickens. You know, that whole thing is worth talking about as it plays out. But we got our NFL stuff to talk about, and I just figured, you know, I want to try to stay you know, up to date with everything, even if we just mention it, just to, you know, put a kind of pinhole in the timeline so we can, you know, circle back when we need to.
Hey, maybe after this is what, the second or third time, maybe it's him, not them. Just saying.
Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'm going to play devil's advocate on this. I like him because he's one of the few guys that still keeps it old school. You know,
is that the word of the night? Is that the word of the night?
Sure, why not? Well, you know, if we could, can we trademark that? Well, I'll put it on a T-shirt. Yeah. Maybe we'll put it on a T-shirt.
Oh yeah, that's what we need to do.
Tonight's pay-per-view should be interesting because it's in Chicago.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and Tony Khan came out the other night for the show and apologized, and he pretty much got booed. So I saw a bunch of clips on that. So the plot thinkings with that, and also it's a little something to think about. Survivor Series is in Chicago this year, so imagine that. Imagine that if that you know, if we're booking the territory. You never know. Never say never, right? Especially if Endeavor wants to pull some WWE strings and say go get them. So let's get rolling into our usual you know, bag of tricks, and we're gonna send it over to the old mailbag with a great email this week. But we do have a sponsor.
We do have a sponsor this week. Yeah, Ed's email sponsored by the Bronx Street Brewing Company, Whitby, Ontario, Canada. Check out their flagship beer, the Blonde, and their 2 gold medal winning beers, Irish Red and Pilsner. You can't forget about their chocolate malt stout, named the best flavored beer in Canada in 2019. Check them out, brockstreetbrewing.com.
And remember, Scotty was on about 2 episodes ago, and we tried to get him to talk more about the company, but he wanted to be you know, on the podcast as just a buddy. So We appreciate
That's right.
that.
You can't forget about their vodka sodas, hard seltzer, and their hard iced teas.
Nice. Take it away, Ed.
Well, this one right here, this is going way deeper. And I'm just gonna preface this by saying I think we may have one. Okay. She likes the word like. We may have to dig deep on this one, okay? It says, female co-host. Hey, 1973 boys, I've written in a few times with no response. Your podcast needs a female co-host to get more traction and views. I suggest Hot and Funny. Work on making that happen. P.S. I have a crush on someone from your podcast. Jill from Staten Island, New York. Yeah. Well, funny story. Amanda Patello Davis, come on, girl. Come on. I think she's great commentary.
So Ed, you want to hit that question at all, or just you want to leave it at that, or you want to, a guy that's known not to confirm that he's got pants on for this podcast?
I do, for the record, I do have pants on. I'm gonna flip it to you guys first.
Thomas, take it away.
Thanks for the email, Jill. All I will say is our guests, they go through a rigorous vetting process. They have to get queried. We have like a 10 question questionnaire that they have to fill out. So it's not easy to get on here, So we
polygraph test too.
Best.
Yeah.
What's that, Ed?
Polygraph too. We can't forget about that now.
Yeah. But we will say we are going through the process, and we are working on a female guest, and it'll be fairly soon.
Brad, you got any thoughts on any crushes going on in this podcast?
Oh, clearly, I'm who she's referring to. Clearly.
I think so.
Without a doubt.
We know so, Brad. It's all about you, buddy.
Yeah.
Third appearance, and I'm already getting them in, guys. Come on. That's a sign.
Yeah. The quintessential stud muffin of the podcast.
Yeah, right? Right.
Thoughts on that is, any press, like I said, is good press. I'll take whatever. I'll take anybody that wants to write in. We'll filter through all the emails. I don't know, as far as written in more than once. I don't know. I tried to comb through those emails best I could, and there's a bunch that are sitting in the queue. So I try to get to as many as I can, and I try to pick kind of something that we're kind of delving into as far as whether it's a seasonal thing or a subject that we're kind of talking about at that time. If we didn't get to an email, either keep sending them in, and eventually we'll get to it, or we'll just usually I get 5 or 6 new ones every week. So I try to pick the best one that kind of suits the show every week. And as far as a crush on the podcast, who knows? It's like story of my life. I mean, you're just flicking them on.
The list is long and distinguished.
Yeah, it's like a long night in Providence back in the day.
It's weird. The Phantom hasn't even been on, and there's somebody on here has a crush.
Right. Yeah. So, I just want to say thanks to Brock Street for sponsoring our emails going forward, the little segment, and a little bit at a time, little engine that could, we'll attach whatever we can to it. And, I just put up some new T-shirts this week too. There's some, check out the Bonfire store, and, I don't know if we've mentioned recently, but send the emails into killerindustries@comcast.net for, all the email questions that you want to send in. I forget that we haven't mentioned that in a while. I don't know if people know how to get a hold of us now that we're on audio form too. So, so what do you think, Tom? We're going to fantasy picks or right into NFL picks? What do you want to do?
I'll do my final fantasy baseball pick this year, for the season right here, and then we'll go. Yes, Tom Shitty Picks. My last Shitty Picks. Well, for this past week, I'm just going to review, and then I'll go right into my fantasy football pick for this week. But I picked Justin Steele last week. The guy he was supposed to have 2 starts. He only had 1, but he was fantastic. He pitched one game, had 8 Ks, 1 walk, gave up no runs, ended up with 17.94 points. And for my hitter, Freddie Freeman, he did all right. He had 17 points with today's game still to go. I didn't look to see what he did today, but going into today, he had 2 home runs, 3 RBIs, and 3 runs scored. So that's the last one. That's the last baseball thing of the season. Now I'll go to my fantasy football pick of the week. And each week I'm going to just go with a different position, and it's too easy to pick a player like every week. So I'm going to try to go like out of the top five for a position. This week I'm going with quarterback, and my quarterback this week I'm going with Trevor Lawrence against Indy. He's played 4 games with them against them in his career. He's rushed for 3 touchdowns and he's had 4 touchdown passes. He's got a 70% passing rating, 70% completion rating against them. I think he's going to light them up. I think Jacksonville is going to be a pretty good team this year.
Before we get into the NFL picks for week 1, I was at the rink, the place that I'm always at 24/7.
For a second, you're a hockey fan and you have kids that play hockey? I can't believe that. I'm shocked.
No. So I was at the rink, funny story, and they had the Colorado game on with Deion Sanders, and I was watching some of it, and I saw the aftermath with the handshake. I don't know if you guys saw that, where Eddie Robinson's son kind of blew him off, and there was almost a little altercation at the end. I thought,
didn't see that.
Yeah, it was pretty epic stuff when you're just sitting there watching it casually. So, I guess no respect for Deion in Colorado. What do you think, Tom?
Well, there was some bad blood last year between the two last year when Deion coached at, I think, Jackson State. And I believe Eddie Robinson might have been with Grambling still at that point. And there was some bad blood because of one of the endings of the game last year.
You're right. No, I think that it's one of those things. It's kind of nice to see not everybody like hugging and holding hands at the end anymore. It's kind of nice to go back to like the 80s and stuff like that, where teams didn't like each other. Teams were gonna solve it out on the field. It's kind of nice to get that kind of get some heat coming back into football again, instead of making it out to be this we're gonna all hold hands and sing kumbaya type stuff. So it's nice to see a little bit of attitude coming back. I like it.
Yeah. Whatever your thoughts are on Deion Sanders as a player, some of his motivational speeches for those kids are pretty awesome. I gotta give credit. I didn't even realize that Warren Sapp was on the coaching staff, so that's pretty cool too.
I did not know that.
Yep.
Didn't know that either.
He I guess their whole philosophy for their mission statement is built around work. So everything is kind of tied into that, all of his speeches and everything. So
I like how they have the L and the D. It's for leaders and dogs. I like it, instead of the captains and stuff like that. I thought that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that wouldn't fly in the workplace though.
No, it wouldn't.
No, not in a PC era. No.
Nope. Surely no.
So Thomas, do you have the matchups for week 1?
I do.
Okay, and so we're gonna go round table, and we're gonna pick just the winners. We're not gonna go with the spread. And any thoughts you get? When you hit me, I'm just gonna give you my pick. I'm going into every week blind, and I'm just gonna pick. You guys are the experts. I'm the hockey guy. I'm just gonna be on the fringe.
Are you picking by color?
Yeah.
By color uniforms.
Who has the prettiest uniforms?
Sure.
Yeah,
who has the best mascot?
Yeah. Best mascot. Like I said before, I think the last time I watched an NFL season, I was religious growing up watching it. Probably the Rich Gannon year, so that'll tell you how long it's been since I watched.
Hey, before we get started with the picks, did any of you guys see the commercial that the NFL did with where all the players and they had actors in front of them reading the script and everything like that? Did you guys see that?
No.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
It was pretty good.
I'll have to check it out.
So Thomas.
All right. First game of the week of the season, this Thursday night in Kansas City. It's the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Detroit Lions. I'll let you guys go first with your picks. Ed?
Well, I'll pick first just because what'd you say? Kansas City and who?
Detroit Lions.
And the Lions.
I'll take the Chiefs.
Ed?
I'm gonna go with the Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs. Come on.
Come on, man.
I'm gonna also go with the Chiefs. I will say that I think it'll be a fairly high-scoring game. Detroit's got a pretty good offense, but their defense they're not going to be able to stop Mahomes and probably Kelce. And now they've got Pacheco. I think Pacheco is going to have a really good second year with them. All right, second game of the season in Atlanta. It's the Atlanta Falcons versus the Carolina Panthers. Andy?
I'll go Falcons.
Brad?
I'm gonna go Falcons.
How about you, Ed?
I'm gonna go pick them.
Ooh.
I mean, if I have to pick, I'm gonna. I mean, they're both teams are not very good. I mean, I'll say pick them, but I'll say the Panthers.
Panthers cut my boy Matt Corral, Matty Ice. No love, no love for North Carolina right now.
I'm going with Atlanta, but I think mainly because they've got a few more offensive weapons with Bijan Robinson and Kyle Pitts. And now it's all a matter of whether or not I think his name is Ritter, the quarterback, whether or not he can get them the ball or not. But I'm going to take a chance and go with Atlanta. All right, game 3. It's in Cleveland. It's the Cleveland Browns versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Andy.
It's in Cleveland. I'll go with the Browns.
Brad.
Cincinnati. Even if Joe Burrow doesn't start, Cincinnati all day.
Ed?
I mean, come on, man. Bengals all the way, man. I'm telling you, they went to the AFC Championship game last year. They're a really good team. They're a solid team. I think maybe Cleveland may be a year away from making a run, but
Yeah, I'm going with Cincinnati as well. I just don't think Cleveland's got a fairly good defense, but they don't have any weapons on offense. And I like Nick Chubb, but when you don't have any wide receivers, teams are going to stuff the line and put 8 guys up front to stop them. So I'm going with Cincinnati.
Plus, their quarterback can't keep his head focused in the game. If you know what I'm saying.
He's too busy getting massages. Wink, wink.
The game 4, it's in Indianapolis. It's the Indianapolis Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Andy.
I don't know. Tony Khan, Jaguars.
All righty. Ed?
I'm going with the Jags, man. I think that they're a really up-and-coming team. I mean, that compared to what they were last year, they're going to be even better. Trevor Lawrence having another year under his belt. I think they're just going to be a much better team.
Brad?
I'm split because I agree with what Ed said. I think Trevor Lawrence is probably going to have a career season. But I really like the quarterback for Indy this year. I like what they've been doing. I'm going to pick Indy with that one.
I'm going to go with Jacksonville only because of the weapons. I think this year, Calvin Ridley's going to have a monster year now that he's back and he's had a year off. I think he and Trevor Lawrence are going to have a really nice little connection going. Now, I will say I love Richardson at quarterback for Indy, but right now, besides Michael Perryman, he doesn't really have too many weapons. The next game, it's in Minnesota. It's the Minnesota Vikings and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Andy.
In Minnesota, Vikings.
He's just picking the home teams.
Ed.
I'm gonna go with the Bucs, man. I think that they're still a good team, and it just seems to me that the Vikings can keep their foot on the gas. They won all those close games last year, but without Delvin Cook, I think that makes them kind of a little bit more of a pedestrian type of a team.
Brad?
Ed's picking with his heart. I respect that. I'm going to pick the team with the NFL's best wide receiver, JJ, Justin Jefferson. Hit the gritty for me. They're going to win that game all day.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. I'm going Minnesota. Tampa Bay, I'm a huge Oklahoma Sooner fan, Baker Mayfield, but he's just the guy, he's done. I think that he's all done, and Minnesota's going to win that one. Next game, in New Orleans Saints versus the Tennessee Titans. Andy.
I'm going to go with the guy with the Titans hat on. I'm going Titans.
Ed?
I'm going with the Saints, man. I mean, I'm going to have to say that, Derek Carr looked really good seeing him live. Their defense is playing really well. I think that they have some good weapons on offense, and I think that they just looked really good when they had their ones out against Kansas City at the first preseason game. The ones versus ones, they looked good. And I have to say that, the Titans, in my personal opinion, kind of on the backslide a little bit. I think that I think that Derrick Henry isn't going to be quite what he used to be. I think he's getting a little long in the tooth, not because he's not a great running back, but man, he's taken some serious hits over the past 6-7 years, not only with the Titans, but also when he was at Bama too.
Brad?
Oh, Saints, baby, all day. If I had to pick a second team besides my Cowboys, it'd be the Saints. Who that?
I'm going with the Titans, but to me, it's a pick'em game. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, and got to go with, Tennessee just made a trade for Nick Folk, the 50-year-old dude. So I got to go with a 50-year-old guy, like for all of us. So I'm going Tennessee. Next game at Pittsburgh. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers and the San Francisco 49ers. Andy?
Where is it?
It's in Pittsburgh.
I'll pick the Niners. I'll go against I'll take the Niners.
Ah, you're going against the grain here, baby.
Yeah, why not?
You're going against the grain.
Ed?
I mean, I'm going with the Niners, man. They're just a really good, solid football team. They're big, they're physical. They have different offensive sets. You know, they're loaded up. They're loaded on offensive side of the ball. They have a really great defense as well that just has a nose for the football. Really puts their hat on you and lets you know that they're that they're playing football. They're probably, in my personal opinion, probably the closest team to old school football that we have in the NFL today. That's my opinion.
Brad?
I gotta pick Pittsburgh, man. I mean, just like I think Trevor Lawrence got a breakout season, I think this young Pittsburgh team with Najee Harris, who's their receiver, Pickens, and their quarterback too is coming. He's coming around. A little bit of developmental process there, but I think Steelers are going to be poised for a pretty decent season this year.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going with Pittsburgh. This is my upset of the week. I think that Brock Purdy, coming off of the Tommy John surgery, I think he's going to have a little bit of rust on him. And I think they're going to Mike Tomlin's going to throw a few looks at him on defense that may confuse him a little bit. And I think it'll be a close game, but I'm going to go with Pittsburgh being at home. Next game, it's in Washington. It's the Washington Commanders versus the Arizona Cardinals. Andy.
I'm going to go Redskins on that one.
Okay, can't call them the Redskins.
Scorched earth.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, we need a sign that says politically incorrect for that comment, don't we?
What do you mean? I mean, that's what I know. Last time I watched them, that's who they were.
Yeah,
so that's who they are to me.
Hey, I didn't get a chance to jump in on Tom in the last one. That reminded his comment almost sounded like Homer Simpson. Oh man, that's an awfully big lock. I don't know.
I didn't say lock. I said upset of the week.
I know. It's the Simpsons episode. The football episode years ago.
Not
all right,
enough.
Ed, who you got in this game?
Me?
Yeah, Washington, Arizona.
There's only one Ed on the podcast.
Sorry, I didn't know if there were two of us. Sorry. I'm going to go with the Commanders, also known as the Redskins.
How about the Commandos?
The Commandos. We're going to go Commando. Absolutely. I love it.
How about you, Brad?
You guys are killing me, and I think you're only picking them because I'm a Cowboys fan. These colors don't run. I don't care who they're playing. That will never come out of my mouth that I will pick the Commanders to win. I'm not picking them. I don't even know who they're playing. I already forgot.
Arizona.
Not picking the Commanders. Absolutely not.
I'm going to go with Washington. I think Arizona's already in tank mode. They've traded a few guys. They're setting Murphy for the first 4 games, and I think they're trying to win the Caleb Williams sweepstakes. But I'm going to go with Washington in that game. The next game is in Baltimore. The Baltimore Ravens versus the Houston Texans. Andy?
Ravens.
Ed?
I'm gonna have to go with Ravens, man. I think that the Ravens are still a solid team, and I think that the Texans are still kind of in rebuild mode, even though that they looked pretty decent the other night. I just think the Ravens are still a really good team with Lamar Jackson. He's still just a really good football player.
Are the Cardinals still in St. Louis?
No, sir.
How about you, Brad?
Baltimore.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, I'm going Baltimore. I think this year, Lamar Jackson has maybe his best weapons that he's had with Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman and Mark Andrews at tight end. If J.K. Dobbins can stay healthy at running back, I mean, they've got a tough team. And Houston,
OBJ too.
Yes, OBJ. I forgot about him.
Yep.
And Houston's going to be up and coming. They got Stroud at quarterback, and Dameon Pierce is a good back. But Stroud at quarterback and Dameon Pierce at running back, but not this week. All right, next game at Chicago. It's the Chicago Bears versus the Green Bay Packers. Andy?
Bears, I guess.
Ed?
I'm going with the Packers, man. They still have some talent. I mean, Aaron Rodgers isn't there anymore. I just think that the Bears still can't get the quarterback situation straightened out. They're a better team this year, obviously, but I mean, I'm going to go with the Packers.
How about you, Brad?
That's a 50-50. Aaron Rodgers took the heart and soul of that team when he left. Let's be honest. I'm going to pick the Bears.
This one is a coin toss to me, but I'm taking Green Bay only because I think Love will be all right, but I think Green Bay is going to run the ball right down their throats with Dylan and Aaron Jones. So I'm taking Green Bay in that game. The next game is in Denver. It's the Denver Broncos and the Las Vegas Raiders. Andy.
They're in Denver?
Yes.
Is Elway playing?
I know so.
No, okay. I'll take Denver.
Wow, going against your Raiders?
First thing that popped in my head.
All right. How about you, Ed?
I'm going to go with the Raiders, but I think it's going to be a pretty close game. I really like Sean Payton as a coach. I think that he's going to really sort out Denver. They really weren't that bad last year, in my opinion. I just think it was really a coaching issue. And I think that with Sean Payton, how good he grooms quarterbacks, I think that Wilson is definitely going to be back on track this year. I'm still just going to go with the Raiders being the first game of the season.
How about you, Brad?
The Raiders are the Raiders. I mean, come on. And with Jimmy Garoppolo, easily they're worse than they were last year. I'm going to go with Denver, Sean Payton.
I'm going to go with the Raiders only because Denver is hurting right now at wide receiver. They got a few guys out, and Javonte Williams is just coming back from major knee surgery, so I don't think they're going to be clicking on all cylinders. So I'll take the Raiders in that game. Next game in New England, the New England Patriots versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Andy.
Let's go Eagles.
All righty.
Ed? Went against the grain.
Yeah. How about you, Ed?
Oh, man, I hate to say this, but my heart wants to say the Patriots, but man, the Eagles are just a better football team. And it kills me to say it. It kills me to say it, and it kills me to say it, but the Eagles are just a better football team.
How about you, Brad?
I'm not going to ever, just like I won't say the command, I will not say the Eagles will win a football game. These colors don't run. Zeke Elliott is going to be the difference maker for that football team. I'm picking New England.
I'm going to go with Philly all day. I think they blow out New England. I'm a New England fan. I just don't think the Patriots can stand up with the Philly firepower. Next game in Los Angeles. It's the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Miami Dolphins. Andy?
Dolphins.
Yep. All right, Ed?
Yeah, man, it kills me to say this. It kills me. It kills me. The Dolphins, man, they're just a good team. With Tua in there, they're a whole different team. I think that this is going to be a really close game. I think it's going to come down to the wire, probably last 60 seconds of the game. But I hate myself for saying it again. The Dolphins.
How about you, Brad?
I like how Andy said Dolphins with a question mark. I'm going with San Diego, all right, which is Spanish for the Whales. You know what? So look, the Dolphins are like the baby Diet Coke versions of what we have in San Diego. I don't think the Dolphins have what it takes. Tua is one concussion away from retirement. San Diego all down now.
I have a question. So not Diet Dr. Pepper, but Diet Coke?
Diet Coke version.
Okay.
I agree with Brad. I'm taking the Chargers. I think they've just got too many weapons with Austin Eckler and Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and Justin Herbert is an unbelievable quarterback. So I'm taking the Chargers in that game. My next game is at Seattle, the Seattle Seahawks versus the Los Angeles Rams. Andy?
Seahawks.
All right, Ed?
I'm going to say the Seahawks. They're just a better team.
Yep. And
the Rams have been gutted.
Yeah.
Seattle Seahawks. DK Metcalf, baby. Let's go.
I'm going with Seattle as well. I think especially if Cooper Kupp doesn't play, I think Seattle may blow him out because Stafford doesn't have much for weapons right now.
Hey, Tom, all right, about 5 minutes left.
Yep. Got 2 games left. At the New York Giants. New York Giants versus Dallas. Giants are at home. Andy?
Giants at home?
Yep, versus Dallas.
No way you just said that with me on the spot. No way.
What do you want this to be, a vanilla podcast? I got to create some ratings here. Let's go, Brad.
Oh, boy.
How about you, Ed?
When you're not on the podcast next week, you'll know why. Don't screw with the host. What's wrong with you?
Brad, I'm coming for you, brother. I'm going G-Man, baby.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Yep.
We're going to be
well,
a top 3 defense.
Yep.
We're going to be a top 5 offense this year.
Uh-huh.
We're not going to be a Super Bowl winning team. We're going to get maybe to a conference championship.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to say that right now. Dallas Cowboys all day.
So, all right. I'm going to go with Dallas, but I think it's going to be a really good game. This could be the game of the week.
Brad and Tom and Ellie.
Blowout game. It's not going to be a good game. It's not even going to be close. It's going to be a blowout.
Final game of the week. The New York Jets at home versus the Buffalo Bills on Monday night. Andy.
I'm going to go Bills because I like the parking lot.
The tables. Ed?
Man, it kills me to say this because, I'm just going to say the Bills. They're a better team. I think that the Jets will definitely come on at the end, like as they move through the season.
Yep.
But I think the Bills are a better team on day one.
How about you, Brad?
This is the most interesting game of the week. I want to say Bills. I really like what I saw with Aaron Rodgers and the Jets in preseason. I hope that translates to regular play. I think this is going to be a statement win. They're going to come out. They're going to go hard. I'm going with the Jets.
I'm going to go with Buffalo. I'm going to say the Jets are going to be good, but I think it'll take them a couple games to gel, and they got a tough matchup first game. All right, that's it, AC.
All right. So,
hey, can we do AFC Championship and NFC Championship games so we can put it on record?
Listen, let's wait. We got 4 minutes left. Tom's going to squeeze in that sponsor for our album of the week. And we got like I said, for like 4 minutes left on the clock. Good.
4 minutes.
All righty. Tom's album of the week is brought to you this week by Purchase Street Records, located at 53 Popes Island, Unit 2 in New Bedford, Mass. Or online at purchasestreetrecords.com. They also have a Facebook page if you want to look them up there. They are Southern New England's largest independent record store. You can also go there and they accept records. They'll buy records off you. I know Roger pretty well. Video games, records, CDs, he does it all. So this week, my album of the week, I'm going with the White Stripes and White Blood Cells. The album was released in 2001. It was a 16-song album with hits including Fell in Love with a Girl, Dead Leaves in the Dirty Ground, Hotel Yoruba, and my favorite, I'm Finding It Harder to Be a Gentleman. Andy?
That's Ed's theme song.
Well,
so
sometimes you have to run with it,
The White Stripe. Let's filibuster here for a couple of minutes because there's like 2 minutes on the clock. But White Stripes came and went really quick. Very odd pairing with Jack White and Meg White. There's a story there. We don't have enough time to get into all that stuff. But White Stripes, they were in that little bubble in time, and I'd love to see some kind of reunion and a small tour and see them get back together and do all the hits and everything like that, just for all the people that never get a chance to see them. But that album was really good. I think they caught lightning in a bottle, like I said, for that short time with those 3 CDs I think that they put out. But very, very, very good. Quick, we got 2 minutes left. Tom, shout out.
I got a shout out right here to my guys. This is my last night with that fantasy football belt, for the Big Dog Fantasy League. Tomorrow's my draft. I just want to tell those guys, be prepared because the belt's coming right back here in Marion. So get ready.
Ed, quick one.
Thanks to Brock Street Brewery. Thanks very much for the sponsorship. Phantom, we need to get you on. Amanda Patello Davis, we want you on. Come on. We want our first female host. Make it happen. And then good luck, Big Ed, later this week.
Brad, got anything?
I want to shout out the brewery, obviously. Thanks for sponsoring the record store. I'm going to hit you up as soon as I get off of this. Also, Jill, I know I'm your crush. Holler at your boy.
I love it.
Wow.
So we got 29 episodes in the book.
Brad, I have a small apartment over here, brother. You live on the couch.
29 episodes in the book. Next week will be episode 30. We're writing, what we've been building on to go towards football season, and then hockey will be right around the corner. you know, we won't probably have a lot to talk about with the hockey, but
You
we're
say
going to
honkies are right around the corner.
right around the corner. Well, with me, it never stops. So, so with that being said, we're
You
under
didn't
a
catch what I
minute.
said, did you?
Yep. Well, you guys can all suck it. So we're out for this week. Check out our picks and see how we did, and we'll reconvene next week. And maybe Brad will be back next week, hopefully.
All right, guys.
All right. Later, everybody.
Thank you. Have a good night.